Under the dark shade of a towering oak tree near the Dune church lay the lifeless form of a drummer boy, apparently not more than 17 years of age, flaxen hair and eyes of blue, and form of delicate mold. As I approached him, I stooped down, and as I did so, I perceived a bloody mark upon his forehead. It showed where the leaden messenger of death had produced the wound that caused his death. His lips were compressed, his eyes half open. A bright smile played upon his countenance. By his side lay his tenor drum, never tapped again.
Such a storm of mini balls I could conceive it possible for men to live through. Shot and shell crashing, canister and bullets whizzing and hissing most fiend-like through the air until you could almost see them. In that mile's ride, I never expected to come back alive.
The Army is not properly equipped for an invasion of the enemy's territory. We lack much of the material of war, are feeble in transportation, the animals being much reduced, and the men are poorly provided with clothes, and in thousands of instances are destitute of shoes.
I was then in the act of mounting my horse, a fine animal I had captured at Harper's Ferry. The first shell fell about 150 yards behind our line, the second about 75 yards in the rear of our line, doing no damage. The third shell struck and killed my horse, and, bursting, blew him to pieces, knocked me down, of course, and tore off my right arm, except for enough flesh to hold its weight. Seeing my horse about to fall on me, I jumped up and went straight to the brigade line of battle, where I was caught by two of our men, and thus prevented from falling. I was saturated with blood, my right side from the blood of my own person, and my left from the blood of my horse. Now it was clear why I lost my glove. I had no right hand on which to wear it.
I consider that both shifts were well fought. We were struck 22 times. The pilot house twice, the turret 9 times, the side armor 8 times, the deck 3 times. The only vulnerable point seems to be the pilot house. One shot struck just outside of it, where the captain had his eye, and it had disabled him by destroying his left eye and temporarily blinding the other.
The force of the mini ball or piece of shell striking any solid portion to a person is astonishing. It comes like a blow from a sledgehammer, and the recipient finds himself sprawling on the ground before he is conscious of being hit. Then he feels about for the wound, the benumbing blow deadening sensation for a few moments. Unless struck in the head or about the heart, men mortally wounded live some time, often in great pain, tossing about the ground.
I recall a Union soldier lying near Dunker Church, his face turned upward, his pocket Bible open upon his breast. I lifted the volume and read the words, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." Upon the flyleaf were the words, "We hope and pray that you may be permitted by kind Providence, after the war is over, to return."
At the Battle of Antietam, as one of the regiments was for the second time going into the conflict, a soldier staggered. It was from no wound, but in the group of dying and dead through which they were passing he saw his father, of another regiment, lying dead. A wounded man, who knew them both, pointed to the father's corpse and then upwards, saying only, it was all right with him. Onward went the son, by his father's corpse, to do his duty in the line, which, with bayonets fixed, advanced upon the enemy. When the battle was over he came back, and, with other help, buried his father. From his person he took the only thing he had, a Bible, given to the father years before when he was an apprentice.